Hello students, today we will do our next topic of heredity and evolution. The topic today which we start, that is evolution. What is evolution? It is the sequence of gradual irreversible changes which took place in the primitive organism over millions of years to form new present day species. Variation that result in formation of new species occurred basically due to errors in DNA copying as well as due to sexual reproduction. An illustration to show variation in a population. A group of 12 red beetles live in green bushes and reproduce sexually, so are likely to develop variation. Here are the following possibilities. In the first situation, okay, this is the group. It is a group of 12 beetles. In the first situation, crows eat these beetles as they can easily pick up red ones in the green bushes. There is a color variation during sexual reproduction and green beetle appears. Okay, by chance a green beetle appears. It reproduces and its population increases. You will observe here, now the green beetle is population is increases. Why? Because the beetles, they eat green leaves, so they live in the green leaves. Green color merge with the leaf color, so the green beetles are not visible to the crow. So the crow eats only red beetles, and by this the population of green beetle increases. Okay, and the red beetle population decreases. This type of variation gives a survival advantage. Next is, in the second situation, you will see, due to color variation, one blue beetle appear. Okay, crows can see both red and blue beetle, okay, and eat them. Blue color is visible to the crow because it is not merged with the leaf color. Okay, so the crow will eat both red and blue beetles. There is sudden calamity. An elephant kills red beetle by stamping on bushes. Now what will happen? Because the red beetle are killed because the red beetle come under the elephant foot. So the blue beetle survive, reproduce and increase in number. In this case, there is no survival advantage but provide diversity without any adaptation. Okay. Now the blue population, it will increase in the second situation. Now discuss about the third situation. What will happen? As the population of beetles increases, the bushes, it suffered from a disease. Okay, and availability of food for beetle decreases. Because of less food available, the size of beetle decreases. Okay, because they do not get the required food. But after a few years, as the plant disease is eliminated, okay, and enough food is available for the beetle, they come back to their normal size. This type of change is not inherited. Okay, this type of change is not inherited. This is inherited, this is also, but this is not inherited. Clear? Our next topic is acquired and inherited traits. Acquired traits are those traits which are not inherited over generation, as they are caused due to change in the non-reproductive tissue and are not passed on the DNA of the germ cells. Okay, the trait which are not inherited over generation and these changes occur in the somatic cells, not in the reproductive tissue. Okay, that traits are known as acquired traits. Clear? For example, learning of dance, music. Okay, if we get any type of knowledge according to the situation or the environment which is around us, that changes are acquired traits. This knowledge is not passed to the next generation. Okay, because these changes occur where? In the non-reproductive tissue, in the somatic cells. And inherited traits, the inherited traits are caused due to change in the DNA of germ cells. Okay, germ cells are what? That is sperm in male and ovum in female. So, if the changes occur in the DNA of germ cells, that changes will pass from one generation to another. So, that traits are inherited traits. Okay. For example, formation of green beetle in the population of red beetle. So, this change will pass. Attach or free or lobe in human beings, it will pass to the next generation. So, this is inherited traits. Okay. The inherited traits, these are the genetic variation. Acquired traits, it is somatic variation. Acquired traits develop due to the effect of environmental factors. Inherited traits develop due to reshuffling of genetic material and mutation. Acquired traits develop throughout the lifetime of an individual and die with the death of that individual. Inherited traits are transferred by the parent to their offspring. These do not die but are passed on the next generation. Example of acquired traits are learning of dance, music and muscular body of wrestler. Example of inherited traits is attached or free earlobe and curly hairs. Now Charles Robert Darwin, who born on 1809 and died at 1882. His concept of evolution was based on the idea that new species were formed due to variation that occurred in the organism. Nature played an important role in the selecting the organism have suitable variation. Okay. Charles Darwin observed that pigeons, dogs and horses were subjected to artificial selection in order to improve their breeding. He conceived the idea of natural selection and after years of dithering finally published in conclusion in the Origin of Species in 1859. Charles Darwin came up with the idea of evolution of species by natural selection in the 19th century. Could not work on the idea of hereditary genetics. Our next topic is origin of life on Earth. Darwin's theory of evolution tells us how life evolved from simple to more complex forms, and Mendel experiment gives us the mechanism for inheritance of traits from one generation to the next. Okay? Mendel experiment, they give us mechanism for the inheritance of traits from one generation to the next. Okay? And Darwin, he gave the evolution theory. What he tell that how the life evolved from simple to complex forms. Okay? But both of them, they neither tell us anything about how life began on the earth in the first place. J.B.S. Haldane, a British scientist, suggested in 1929 that life must have developed from the simple inorganic molecules. He suggested that life developed from simple inorganic molecules which were present on the earth soon after it was formed. He speculated that the condition on earth at that time, which were far from the condition we see today, could have given rise to more complex organic molecules that were necessary for life. But how did these organic molecule arises? Okay, how did the first organic compound form? An answer was suggested by the experiment conducted by Stanley L. Miller and Harold C. Urey in 1953. They assembled an atmosphere similar to that thought to exist on early Earth. This had molecules like ammonia, methane and hydrogen sulfide, but no oxygen over water. This was maintained at a temperature just below 100 degrees Celsius, and sparks were passed through the mixture of gases to stimulate lightning. At the end of a week, 15% of carbon from methane had been converted to simple compounds of carbon, including amino acids, which make up protein molecules.